Hello, welcome to Name That Pleat, the trivia show where we guess what kind of pleating is going down the runway. Today we're going to talk about Pierre Balmain's ready-to-wear collection from 2015, designed by Oliver Roussonting, I think, if that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, so let's take a look at this short dress. Can you guess what kind of pleating this is? This is a tough one to actually crack because I was staring at this over and over again, and it's really confusing to tell whether it's a side pleat or a box pleat. All right, and there's a couple things that actually confused me and a couple things that actually hinted what kind of pleating this is. So first, I want to take a look at the collar. So when you look at the collar, it looks like all of the pleats are going on top of each other, and that is probably because they sheared it in for the collar when they were sewing it. But there was something about it that wasn't quite right. So I can see along the edge of the collar that they actually folded it over. They did not finish it, and that's why it's got this kind of like bubble thing going on. Moving right along down to the bottom of the skirt, I looked at the skirt and I was like, wow, something funky is going on with the skirt, because the hem of this skirt is basically holding all the pleats fixed. The bottom of the skirt, if you look at the spaces between them, you can see that the space at the bottom and at the top of the ruffle are exactly the same, letting us know that it's actually a straight panel, okay? So it's a total square. Another interesting thing about the bottom of the skirt is that they made it into a ruffle and they actually hemmed the pleating so that it would not open up. And they're treating it like it's basically regular fabric. If I zoom into the picture, to me, it looks like it's some kind of a pearl edge. So what I noticed also is that whenever there's a seam, wherever the pleating is stuck in a seam, there's a little bit of overlap occurring, and that's when they're shearing it to give it more volume. And that's the part that tricked me into thinking that it was a side pleat. But when I started to look at other parts of the garment, I started to see that the spacing looked a little bit more hinting towards a box pleat. Like if you look at the orange waistband to me looks like a box pleat. You can distinctly see the spaces between the creases. Now, logically, most of the time when designers make their pleated garments, they don't really mix and match too many pleats together. They usually stick to one kind of pleat, maybe two kinds of pleats. But generally speaking, when they're doing a straight pleat, they use the same pleat. So this is why I think that this particular garment is a box pleat. And based on the size, I'm gonna guess it's something like 3/8 of an inch to maximum 1/2 inch in size. Since all of our pleating sizes here are done in millimeters, I would say that this is probably a 10mm box pleat. And it was most probably fused so that the pleats don't move or spread apart, and then they can just sew the garment and treat it like it's the regular self fabric. It wasn't until that I looked at the back picture of this look, was able to figure out that, wow, this is not a side pleat, this is a box pleat. And a box pleat that was just turned over and folded over on itself. Let's take a look at that going down the runway again. Thank you for listening to today's episode. My name is George Kalajian. I'm the owner of Tom Sons International Pleating. We are a pleating contractor located in the Garment District. If you need help identifying any kind of pleating, you can download our pleat style cheat sheet located on our website, www.internationalpleating.com, or you can just send us a picture of whatever garment that you're trying to figure out, and we can either discuss it on this episode or we can send you a DM and let you know exactly what kind of pleating it is. For a full explanation of what we're talking about, don't forget, we wrote a textbook called Pleating Fundamentals for Fashion Design. If you're a fashion designer, a costume designer, or even a student, buy our book. You won't regret it. See you next time. Pleats to meet you.